Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton Daily Live. It's a bonus one, I'll be honest. We weren't going to do it. It's Bank Holiday Monday. We were just done the final word, so if you're not a Premier member, check that out when it comes out. We've just done it live on Toffee TV Premier members had it live, rather. But we just thought we'd quickly jump on for half an hour, given we're here and you're there. So we'll just have a little half an hour of all sorts on Everton, I guess. So get your comments in. Myself and Peter are here to take your comments. Full name. Full name. For anyone who hasn't watched it, we were just saying it was frustrating, wasn't it, afternoon, given we were 2 up. I mean, is that concerning? It's the 4th time this season that these have thrown a 2-goal lead away.
It's not concerning to me, 'cause none of them will play next season.
I mean, some of them will. Some of them will.
See ya.
It is annoying knowing it, because that, especially given the way the results went as well. You know, we're trying to finish as high as we possibly can.
Yeah.
You know, Wolves getting beat Friday night. It was our chance. We'd have gone 13th had we won. The height, you know, the heady heights of 13th. But frustrating. I mean, Carl says, do you think we should go for Enciso in the summer?
I think Brighton have got a plan for him.
Yeah.
Surely they've got a plan for him, but great goal. Looks it's real talent. And they've managed to stick him out on loan, haven't they? So he's playing in the Premier League every week. So fair play, fair play to them. Should be looking. Why aren't we looking in that for those kind of talents? That's what you'd actually say.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Hello to Matthew. Hello to Danny. Toffee Jedi. I mean, listen to this one. I'm listening to this while I take a nap. So is he doing that sort of thing where you go to sleep listening to something? I
like to think that we are the ASMR voice of a generation.
Oh, okay. Or he's saying you sent me to sleep. That's fine. That's fine. As long as we get the view for it, it's all good, isn't it? Fletcher says, well in, fellas, for coming on. Everton draw again. Please let this bring the best of David Moyes, did he say? Oh, don't let this be the best of David Moyes. Well, listen, Fletch, he's going to have to do better as well, isn't he? Because the Friedkins will want Everton to be on an upward trajectory, but they do have to also back him. That's what we're up for. Levi Mason, who's a YouTube member, says we need to spend big in the summer to sort this team out. Half okay at the back, but need upgrades. If O'Brien's staying right back, then we need a new centre back, and we desperately need pace. We do need pace, don't we? There will be upgrades in players. Everton have been linked with a Greek right back this morning, Everton and Brighton, so he looks quite handy. We'll see. TL says, evening lads, over from Australia next week and got the tour of Goodison booked. I'm keen as. Come on, you Blues.
Nice.
Eddie Gerlach says, we've bottled 2-0 several times this year. Something lacking in the final third to put these games away. Yeah?
Absolutely.
I mean, it is so frustrating, isn't it? It is so frustrating. Trilos says, I was mentally prepped for another 3-2 loss when that equaliser went in.
There's also that.
Yeah. A few people asking, what are your thoughts on the kit photo that was doing?
I have no idea what kit. I couldn't possibly. I got in trouble last season.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay,
You've seen it?
Oh, no, we have. So you're trying to pretend that you didn't. So if that was Everton's new kit for next season, what do you think of it, the shirt?
Okay, these are my thoughts. Number one, it's got the 86-87 collar neck. Why? Why not wait a year?
Because we won.
It's the 40th anniversary next year. So why not? No. So why not wait a year and bring it out as the 40th anniversary? Okay. That's my first thought. Second, the design, I get it. It looks like waves. The ground and shizzle.
The blue wave.
So I get that. Listen, shirts don't always look great hung up in someone's bedroom.
Yeah.
They don't always get the detail. The light can.
Well, one of the images where the light's quite bright, the kit looks amazing. It just looks dull on the other one, but that's because the lighting's not very good on it.
Yeah, just it can come down to just the lighting can. I've seen loads of kits where I've gone, that looks awful. Then you've seen it in real life and gone, wow, that looks so much better. Let's wait till we see the final product. But the more thing I'm disappointed is the bit that goes there.
I know, but I wasn't expecting. This is the last.
I thought
season.
Everton might have used.
This is the last season we've got.
No, but I thought legally Everton might have used the loophole to get out of it. But
not when it's 23 million a season or so. But yeah.
Let's wait and see what it looks like properly. But once again, Everton's kit leaked.
SP says, would you sell Branthwaite for a high price to significantly boost the transfer funds and build a squad?
No. Why can't we build a squad without selling them?
And Ark says it will cost us more to reinforce the centre-back line to the same defensive standard compared to keeping Branthwaite as the core pin of the defence.
Yeah.
Let's be honest,
all
mate. The best two are Tarkowski and Branthwaite. They just are. Jake O'Brien's done all. Don't get me wrong, he's done okay, but he's done better as a
progress.
But it's them three are battling for it, aren't they? We need pace. Everton will know. You will notice Everton go up levels if Everton got a really good number 6 to go in there and some pace on the wings and another striker. If you added them areas, the team would go and jump. Because defensively, our numbers are quite strong.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
We've been a little bit more open under David Moyes because we're trying to score goals. But let's not forget that our defensive record was pretty good under the last fella. And yet we weren't picking up wins because
we didn't go forward.
So we were losing games 1-0. Well, that looks brilliant on your defensive record. Yeah. But all that matters is goals that you score. I have seen a few Dyche fans come out the woodwork in the last couple of days, which is hilarious.
There can't be any Dyche
honestly
fans.
People coming out if he had people said the record and it's not say it wasn't Dyche. Oh,
well, record he won 3 games in half a season. Moyes just won 5, so yeah, Moyes just pissed all over it. We've lost 4 games in 16. If Dyche lost 4 in 16, we might have been all right. Anyway.
And also, he'd be going in 3 games anyway, even if he still was here.
No one cares, do they?
See you later, hot potato.
SB says, lads, this is a bit out there, but with the rumour of Kane leaving Bayern in the summer and them going for Wits, would you try and get Kane for 40 million?
Him and Kevin De Bruyne.
Well, I would try and get Kane, of course I would. However, there's a team not too far away from here, I believe, who are very interested in him.
Manchester City.
And he's going to want to go and play in the Champions League, isn't he? He's not going to come to Everton. But it'd be amazing if he got Harry Kane. I don't think he will leave, though.
No, why would he?
I don't think he will leave. Graham says he wanted Knight. James Graham, rather, said he wanted Knight.
That's never happened.
Danny says we definitely need to strengthen the midfield. Suture.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Sophie says we miss Mangala.
We don't. Don't be mad.
Mangala done all right.
No, we miss really good players. That's who we miss.
Onana.
We miss really good players.
No, we do.
Stop. I think we all
Mangala was sound.
He was fine.
He was sound, but
wouldn't make this team any better.
We were never buying him, I don't think.
He doesn't make this team. What would make this team better is good players, like really good players. Not like when you watch other teams and go, he's a good player, isn't he? They're the players we miss. Buy them.
Why wouldn't you?
That's what I say. Buy those players.
I think we will. Well, I think the manager will be trying to. I believe there's lots underway already, lots going on, and there should be, by the way. There you go. Black and Blue says, what are the chances that without Sahi's leadership on the pitch for the remainder of the season, we won't break the 40-point barrier? It wouldn't surprise me if Everton went down to Fulham and won 2-1, because it's a game where you expect them to have the ball. We can just play to a plan of sitting in and all that. I think at home is an issue, but then if Everton should have more than enough to beat Southampton. at Goodison Park. More. Leicester have just beat them and kept the clean sheet. Leicester hadn't scored since December at home. So I think we'll beat Southampton comfortably on the last day. I think the emotion of it all, we'll beat Southampton comfortably on the last day, which will put us in. I think we'll end up with 43 points. Then we'll draw a Fulham on Saturday and beat Southampton. Then I think Newcastle will beat us, because I think they'll need to beat us to get in the Champions League, looking the way it's looking. And we'll just be on the beach, won't we? Let's be honest.
With Chris Rea.
Like Chris Rea. Jonathan Rickett says, what do you make of the lap shining the wall? It's a bit mad, wasn't it?
I've seen other people do that though, so I'm not playing any...
But don't you think it's a bit... You think it was a little bit odd?
I've seen other people do. So I don't... So someone's probably gone over and gone, we do this thing, do you fancy signing it? And I don't know who that person was, but someone did, that's what they do, so fair play. Fair play for them for signing it.
Yeah. Ryan says, hope you're well, lads. Many questions to be asked of Everton, but my main question is, where is Dick L? And how is he coping at work?
That's probably where Dick L is, hiding somewhere. But who knows? Feel sorry for the lad.
Interesting, isn't it? Eddie Gar says Everton motto is always to disappoint when possible.
That's the true motto of Everton Football Club, let's be honest. The true motto.
Barry says, not impressed with the lap over the 2 games against us. Would prefer George Hurst to the lap over the 2. I think George Hurst is a good championship striker. I think the lap's better and he's got a higher ceiling.
Yeah, he's 27, George Hurst. It's mad, isn't it? It's like...
Been around forever. Liam says, hi lads, I'm starting to think Jake will save us a few quid by being our first choice right back next season.
I don't want him to be our first choice right back.
That should be his position.
No,
now.
it shouldn't be his position. Shouldn't be his position.
But I'm not sure Jake's a Premier League centre back. Very good right back. Let's say he's our right back.
He's not do you know what? He's not a very good right back.
He's been all right.
No, I'm not being audible, right? But he's not a very good right back. What he is a good defender. Right, he's been put into right back as emergency cover. Right backs now are wingers. Right, we need to stop this thing that we do as Evertonians. We do it all the time. We get comfortable with players and we get comfortable with old players. So when we get linked to them and then someone scores against them and we go, let's go and sign him. You say it all the time. The world is a big place.
No, it is.
Right backs now are wingers.
The Greek
lad, bomb.
The Greek lad we've been linked with today used to be a winger. Yeah, he's 6'1". He can quick. He's got 2 feet. He can dribble, and he can defend. That's your modern day right back. That's your modern day right back. We
need honestly.
Jake O'Brien's done fine. Don't get me wrong. And if he was there because Moyes said, "I'm trying to do this," and we've got someone who's just all he does is like hug the tut and does all this up there, and therefore we're going for a bit of solidity because he wants a raiding left back as well. So you've always got 3, then okay. But if you're talking about building Everton up into a team that wants to be high up the pitch and go to get in Europe and do things like that, your right back has to have more than what Jake's got.
But this is it. But Jake is at the start.
Good defender, though.
Jake's at the start of his journey, and he made a mistake on Saturday, and he'll learn from it. He's young and he hasn't played that many. That was his 2nd game in the Premier League as a centre-back.
Yeah.
So let's just leave him to be what he is, a centre-back. But honest to God, he is not a right back. He is not a right back. Let's remember that. What he is a talented defender, and let's leave him to grow. And he's been solid at right back when we needed a solid player. Yeah. But if you're going to get this team going the way you want to see football played, you can't have a fella playing right back for you who's just going to sit in his own half like a 3rd centre-back. Yeah. We need full-backs who go high up the pitch and get crosses in. And
the thing is, this is what David Moyes has always done, though. If you look, he's at Everton. He had obviously Seamus Coleman, didn't he? Tried to get Hibbert as high as he could until Tony, he gave Tony Hibbert a go. He also brought people like Lars Jakobsen in because he was trying to get that attacking right back going. And then Seamus was in. At West Ham, he had Kufal. He tried Ben Johnson. He's had other players who he's used wide right there to raid for them on the left-hand side. He had Cresswell at West Ham and players like that. He had Zabaleta. He's always had attacking fullbacks, always. So I think they'd be looking for that. That's why we'll see. Listen, he's a good defender, O'Brien. And you can't... He made a mistake for the second goal of the weekend. He did. It was on him. He should have dealt with it, right? And he's got to learn that, deal with the danger. Fataki would have dealt with the danger, wouldn't he? He'd have jumped into Hurst. If Hurst still would have headed it in, fair play, but he'd have jumped into him. But O'Brien's got to recalibrate himself from being the player who's covering the winger to playing inside and dealing with everything. He's going to have those moments. He's got to come through that, hasn't he? Liam D says, Witch is very confident. The lap is on his way. Trust in Witch. Dave Witch is very confident. The lap's on his way. Spoke to him on Saturday. So listen, I hope the Witch is right. Well, although there is other strikers, Emmanuel Omega would be my first choice, but there you go. Gary Waters, howdy. Rob, the East Belfast Toffee, says, if that really is next season's shirt, then it looks crap. I'm paraphrasing.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't buy it.
That's simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't like it, fine. People, it's very difficult to get everyone to like a kit. I don't know whether I've seen it, to be honest. Doing this, we've done this for 11 years. I don't think I've ever seen everyone go, that's amazing, that kit. There you go. Mike Raff says, wow, cannot wait for this season to be over. They'll be better buy well, or I will lose my shit. Yeah, I think they will. Brian Garside says, hats off to the 1878s. I witnessed several grown men with tears in their eyes as we sang Spirit of the Blues, combined with the intricately planned display before kick-off. I experienced the full-on Goodison event. We sat at the back of the lower Bullens. I lost count of the number of pillars blocking the view. The referee was ... We conceded, goal lead, and almost managed to lose. But jubilation of the goals and the nerves caused by risk of losing it all in glorious sunshine. See you again next season. It's right, Bri. Adam says, what is James Garner's obsession with passing backwards? Think he got away with criticism when Dykes was here, as we basically didn't need a midfield when the ball was getting kicked over them. It's becoming apparent now. He's got a lot to improve. Safety first, isn't it? Safety first. And you need to be more progressive than that. Rob, the East Belfast Toffee, also says, I wouldn't go near the lap. He's like Mopai with a few more goals. I think he's a lot better, faster, more mobile than Mopai. But fair play. Dave Plummer says, this lot owe us one game versus Southampton and then bye. Realistically, we need two wingers, a striker, two mids and a right back. I'd be stunned if there's much more than that. So looking forward to not having the threat of Michael Keane come on any longer.
Can I just ask this question, Mike, genuinely? Do people think there's not money because of PSR, or do they think there's not money because of the owners? Because I'd be really interested, because
I don't know.
The way I look at it, right, is, and I might be completely wrong. If you really want to make a dent in this league, you're going to have to spend big money. But I totally understand the PSR situation, right? So if Everton haven't got loads of money because of PSR, then I totally get that, right? If we haven't got loads of money because the owners are not giving us loads of money, then you might as well just give it to somebody else.
That's a different issue.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's what if and I'm not, by the way, I'm not going. What I'm saying is, if you really want to make a dent in this league, and I mean trying to get in the Champions League, you've got to spend money. You've got to. And that's the simple fact. It all has to come down to the table. Look at the wages table. The wages table will basically tell you where people are going to finish.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time.
Within.
Yeah, within.
You can overperform.
Of course you can underperform. Of course you can. But Liverpool's wages are probably the highest in the league, and they're top of the league, right? So I do find it really interesting. If most people believe we're not going to spend loads of money because of PSR, then Everton behind the scenes have to massively sort themselves out in terms of how they bring money in. And that's why when I'm saying...
even that's not real, though, because it changes to a hybrid thing.
Oh!
But from July the 1st... That's not real because you've got, July. So from July the 1st till June the 30th, you've got a year to sort your finances out. So you could spend 180 million in July, and go, we're definitely selling Brantley for 75 by the end of June. Yeah. And therefore, with the thing.
But that's what I find really interesting because, as I said, money equates success in the should equal success in the short term. But that means obviously bringing the right people, and we've done it before and we've made a mess of it. And David Moyes actually said that on his piece on Football Focus. He went, let's get it right. These have spent money and made a mess of it. He was absolutely just going, I'm here to like sort this out. Now, whether he does or not, we'll wait and see. No one's saying it's a guarantee. But what he said on Football Focus was really interesting because he just went, these have made an absolute mess of this, an absolute mess of having money. He wasn't shying away from that. And he was also basically saying, God, if I'd had the money that this lot of that, it wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't be like that. So it has to be spent in the right way, but it has to be spent. Now, whether it's spent over 1 summer, 2 summers, 3 summers, if we want a team that we can't go right now, let's do it like Brighton or Brentford, because that also takes years of preparation to see the bearing of the fruit. If Everton want to actually do something, they've got to spend some major dough. And that means 5 positions in the team right now have to have different people playing in them. And that takes major money. So I'm curious of why people don't believe we're going to spend money, or what is the reasons why not spend the money. If it's PSR, fine. But no. If that's what people think, then fine. But if these are coming into our club, which obviously, and I'm not having a go, by the way, don't take this the wrong way. These must know that the only way to get to yourself from where we are now to where we want to be is money. Spending money. Brighton, even now, are spending 30 million on a player without even worrying about it. They've gone from buying that 5 million player to buying 30 million player. It's the only way to do it. So if people are I've heard people say 60 million, well, that's 2 players.
Everton will spend heavily every summer.
They've got to, haven't they?
Because they've got to. And that'll be turnover with... Don't forget, Everton's turnover goes from 30 million. There's an 80 million pound or 70 million pound swing in turnover because we're paying 55 million in interest, which is gone. Well, it's not gone, it's been restructured, moving from Goodison, 20 million match day to 50, 60 million at Bramley Moordock. There's the turn. Players out of contract, blah, de blah. Everton, for me, will spend about 100. I think we'll be spending well over 100 million this summer, and that'll be the beginning of spending well over 100 million. Okay. Because you have to. Yeah. You simply have to. And then, obviously, while you've got assets like Jarrod Branthwaite, there's a guarantee of 70 million at least coming back in. So then everything else, we're all paying more at Bramley Moor, better sponsorship.
Well, that's the other side of it.
What about when the naming rights deal's announced and that's coming in? So,
but that's also the other side of it. Like, this season, it's all emotional and it's all this and it's all that. Next season, with my season ticket, your season ticket jumps up by at least 150 quid. And that emotion is taken out of it. And it's not, oh, the grand old lady, blah, blah. And it's suddenly you're sitting there going, okay, impress us then. You've got the first few months will all be on novelty. And then it becomes, I'm paying a fortune for this seat. And I don't have that emotional attachment. I don't want to miss games anymore. I want to see us starting to compete. That novelty factor is only going to be there in a short term. That new stadium thing, the spotlight's only going to be on Everton for a very, very short time. And then we become like everybody else. Oh, you've got a new stadium, have you, son? So what? You know, it's a short-term thing, but it'll also be a short-term thing for our fans when it's like, I can't afford to go to the game anymore. I can't afford to pay these prices when this is what we're watching. Whereas the last few seasons, they've had you on the hook, haven't you? They've got you on the hook all the time. Now they've got you on the hook for your seat, right? Whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, they're keeping your seat hostage, essentially. But it's up to you whether you want to pay it. But there is also that thing of like, everything is emotional blackmail at the moment. Oh, I can't give me ticket up because I'm moving to the new stadium.
You had the lad from Roma on.
Yeah.
Spoke to him. And the thing he said was, the Friedkins put the money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
David Moyes, in my view, wouldn't have gone near this job had he not thought he can improve it and be given a transfer kitty, which he knows he will be. And therefore, the money will be there. The fans won't accept it. They just won't accept another one. So I wouldn't be worrying.
No, I'm not worrying.
No,
by the way, I'm not worrying. I just see what people. I feel like people are underplaying. Like, I think Everton.
But I think that's not bad for some people.
I think minimum Everton have to spend 100 million this summer.
Easily.
Minimum. And they have to work. They have to work a way around PSR to get to that point.
But it's the easy way to do it, Ped, is it's cash. Everton could spend 150 million and actually spend 50 million because the down payments, the amortisation.
They have to be clever, like Chelsea have.
It's just cash. So therefore, all that happens. Don't forget,
sell this team to itself.
If Everton spend 50 million this summer in cash, but 150 million cumulatively, because it's the way you're committing to amortisation and everything. You just have to bear in mind we have to spend that next summer as well to pay for those. Do you know what I mean? So Everton should be going, look, we're trying to spend this amount of money and we're gambling. One of these players we might sell in 12 months if he does well. That's just the way it is. But the other three, we're trying to build. Sell one to keep three, sell one. And that's how you have to do it. Everton haven't been able to do that in the last 4 or 5 years because they're building this big stadium and it's took up all the capital. So sometimes Everton have had money, but haven't been able to do it because they haven't had cash. And sometimes because of the interest payments and they haven't got enough outside sponsorship or everything else in, there hasn't been room to do it. It's frustrating because sometimes they've had room to spend money and they haven't been able to because of that. But that is sort of hybridly changing. Yeah. And if it does go to squad ratio, Everton are actually in a better position than a lot of clubs from what you bring in. So Everton will spend money quite easily. Fletcher, because everything's taken yearly. You can lose 105 million over 3 seasons, right? So when we get to June 30th, another season falls off. PSR ain't going to be here in 12 months' time. It's going over to squad ratio. So therefore, the 3-year thing goes.
What was the question?
How can we spend 100 million with PSR?
Like everybody else spends it. You've got to.
Don't worry about it.
You've got to be clear. I'm not being funny, right? But at some point, right? At some point, someone at this football club, right, has got to monetize the fan base, right? Been saying this for years. The club are shit scared of the fan base in terms of like what they do or what they don't do. They don't know. We haven't got the right people at the... And listen, people are starting to leave the club, right? Another one left over the weekend, right? People are starting to leave the football club and be replaced with, hopefully replaced by more modern people who understand. The fan base is there, right? I was talking last week. I was talking to James. I think I was talking to James, not sure, right? You go around this city, I've said it loads of times, and you don't see people wearing Everton gear, right? I think I mentioned this the other day about some of the 1878s wearing, telling people to wear blue and stuff. You don't see people wearing Everton kits or Everton gear around the streets of the state of a normal day, right? That has to change. That has to change. You need people wearing Everton gear all the time. That doesn't mean kits. That means gear. Now, last week we had the Art of Football range come out. That's really good. That's promising. That Everton are working with an outside company and Fanatics are wearing an outside company to bring a range of different kind of stuff, right? Not everyone might like the gear, but I know for a fact that gear's been selling really well. Because people are like, oh, it's good, this. And also, it's like a novelty thing. Everton have to start getting their act together. Story needs to start getting their act together. Fanatics need to get their act together. The stuff with they're bringing something out for the last game of the season. It's piss poor. John Blaine said to me yesterday, and I thought it was a really interesting point. Why do they believe that we should buy stuff, but the players won't wear it? Why should we be paying for stuff that the players aren't? Like, do you know what I mean? As in, like, if it's not good enough for the players on the pitch, why is it good enough for the fans in the terraces? I thought that was a really good point. They have to start monetizing us. They've got no problem asking us for an extra £100, £200, £300 for our seats. What they have done, and I think fair play against the club, no problem praising the club. They've said to Evertonians, right, no, that seat over there that you used to have, right, sorry, but that's the best seat in the house now, and it's going to be 1,200 quid. But for 1,200 quid, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, they've said for 1,200 quid, you get to go in a private members area, and there'll be ex-players milling about, and it's a great spec, and it's sold out. Because guess what? There are people who will pay £1,200 and go in the matches a day out for them and all that kind of thing. Not everyone can afford it, but what they said is, well, there's not a bad seat in the house, so you're just going to have to suck that up. And a lot of people have had to suck that up. And you know what? A lot of people who didn't have season tickets are going to end up in the North Stand. And I've sat in the North Stand, and it's actually really, really good. And actually, we were talking about it, and we were talking about between us when we'd been in the North Stand. And of course, we're in the Gladys Street, and we were like, actually, the North Stand is more. It's actually more like the Gladys Street than the South Stand is, like the Gladys Street right now. Even from the point of where the players come out the tunnel and everything. So they're going to get a really good experience, and loads of us are going, we're going in the South Stand, and actually the North Stand might be the best place. So there's not a bad seat in the house. So everyone have got no problem going. We're having lazy boys, and they cost thousands of pounds a season, and that's just the way it is, because it's going to make us this much money. We could have had loads more seats, so Everton have had no problem doing that. I just want Everton to do that all the time though. I want Everton to go, I want to walk in the club shop and go, wow, fucking where's that credit card? I am overcome with all this gear that I want to buy. I want to buy everything. But you know what that means? That means bringing in external designers. That means working with the fan base to understand what they want. That means Custori reaching into its Umbro stuff and going, right, we're bringing that kit out, but also bringing that tracky top out, that jumper out, and giving people what they want, to the point where instead of going, no, we're going to have this minimum range, because Everton fans don't really buy gear, and we don't want to lose money on it. But actually all this, and Everton fans go in and they go, but this is all crap. Because what it is, you go in the club shop and you go, this is all crap. I would never wear any of this. You've got to give stuff what they want, and people will buy it. People will buy it. And start making people, we were talking about the badge last week, weren't we? Make a decision on the bleeding badge. What's it going to be? Is it going to be the badge we've got now, or is it going to be the tower? Get that. We had two lads in last week sitting on our couch having a chat who are PR specialists in New York. And they were like, you've got to make a decision on what your identity is. Is it the badge we've got now, or is it the tower? If it's the tower, go balls deep into the tower. And when you, like we were saying, when Everton do a kit launch and do it in Times Square when we're in New York, and put it on all the billboards in New York, pay for it and do all the billboards. And that's not for like everyone in New York to go, oh look, that's for the rest of the world to say you're doing your kit launch in New York, and you've decided on what your badge is going to be and what you're going to be, what badge is going to represent you going forward, and you're putting everything into that badge, and that's going to be it. So make a decision on the tower or the full badge, whatever it is. But stop pissing about. Go all in. And that's what I'd got to say to the Freakons on everything, is go all in. You've gone all in on the club. The stadium's there. Go all in. Make Evertonians proud to walk around the city. This city, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, anywhere in the world that you're an Evertonian, Dublin, and be able to go, I am proud to be an Evertonian. I'm proud to represent the football club. And whatever that is, I'm proud to represent, have the badge on, whatever badge it is, the new badge, the old badge, whatever the badge you want to wear, whatever that is. But that takes people at the club to stop going, I'm not sure about it. That takes people at the club to go, let's talk to the fans, let's get a workshop, let's understand what people want, instead of hiding behind this thing that I believe they've hid behind for years of, I'm not sure if they'd like that. Not sure. Some fella in an office in the live building's going, oh, you know how they kick off? No, the people who kick off, go and ask them why they kick off. Go and ask them what they want then. Go and ask them what they want. If you're seeing stuff online now about the new kits and people are like, I'm not really sure, get that release date moved up then. Get that kit ready to go. So everyone sees it in the proper light and goes, wow, I love that kit. Because all you're going to have for the next couple of weeks is that kit knocking around the internet and people going,
Everton should just wear it against Southampton.
yeah.
If they're not doing a kit for a special kit, which doesn't look like they are, wear it for the Southampton game. And go, this is the new kit.
This is the new kit.
Taking it in. There we go.
Yeah.
Last day.
Last day.
But it's the waves on the kit for the new stadium.
But if people, what's going to happen is people are going to get a negative image of this kit because it's knocking around the internet for the next few weeks. Get the proper kit out then. Say, lads, we're going to move the kit launch date up. Listen, all the pictures and everything will already been done. Because if they're not done now, then the players piss off and you don't see them again until pre-season. So the kit, it'll all be done. So let's bump up the kit launch and go, this is the kit for the new season. This represents us. Do it on the same day as whatever you're doing. Like, that's the other thing, right? Sam said to me yesterday, so we're just sitting and we're talking about different things, Everton related, because that's what we do in our house. And she goes, oh yeah, there was a thing in the programme about this kit. And I went, what? So she gets the programme out that nobody buys, by the way. She goes, blah, blah, blah. And there's an advert for this.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what? So Everton have buried, essentially, because this is what they always do. Anyone who watches this knows it's my biggest bugbear. So Everton have gone, we're going to have a fan kit that they're not. So why aren't they wearing it? Well, someone decided we weren't wearing it without, you know. And instead of going, Everton will be launching this new collection, they've buried it within a programme that nobody buys. And then it's led to someone finding it, and that some person just happens to be married to me. And I've gone, this might be something that might be good on our socials. I've put it out on our socials, and the next minute, go on social media now, and you will see people talking about Cambridge Blue and what kits they should be wearing. And actually what they've done is created this whole conversation of what Everton should have done at the beginning of the season and said, hey, Evertonians, what is your favourite, not your favourite kit, sorry, what kit do you think represents Everton as your entire life? And I believe that the kit that represents Everton is the 1960s kit of Everton blue, royal blue with a little white, similar to that, because that's the kit to me that when I see that kit without badges, sponsors and everything else, I go, that's Everton. That.
I know, but it's
no.
You've
so
seen,
what's yours though?
Well,
so what's yours?
I'd have the 85.
Okay, so that's yours, Baz. And you know what? That's not a wrong answer. There might be thousands of people who believe in you. They might go, the minute I see that kit with the white V, I don't need any of the badges. I know that's Everton. Right?
But they should just have wore the thing with what I would have wore it, but then again it's
no, let's not make we don't need to make excuses for them. No. We don't.
I'm just saying they should have just wore the Cambridge Blue. That's what they do in the first kit that played at Goodison. They should have wore it.
But I don't
people mightn't like that.
So why didn't we just ask the question of the fan base then? Why didn't we go to the beginning of the season and say, we are looking to bring out this is what I'm talking about, right? If they bring Cambridge Blue out and they wear it, how many people are going to buy Cambridge Blue? People will go, that doesn't represent...
No, but they might fire if it's the final kit that Everton ever wore, mightn't they?
Right, so why not edge your bets and say, we are doing a poll. We have got 4 kits that we believe represent, or do a bit of work with people and go, what kit do you think? Get it down to 3 kits. These are the 3 kits. What kit do you think represents? See, I'd say the 60s one, Baz, because the reason I say the 60s one is because to me...
No, I get it.
No, but that's the kit.
What I'm saying, for me, this summer's this month is the 40th
year
of our most successful ever team.
I've gone into this.
And it's the last.
And I 100% agree with you.
Wear a kit like that.
I 100% agree with you. But what I'm saying is, there's a kit there that the minute if I see grainy footage, and I go,
you don't have to see anything other than blue and white.
I see it and go, that's not Chelsea. That's not somebody else who wears blue. I know that's Everton by the little white round collar, and I know that's Everton. But you could say the same for 85 with it's distinctive. It doesn't even need an Everton badge on it. It's distinctive, right? but they didn't even consult the Everton fans as large. They consulted a small group of men who just happened.
All right.
No,
No, I know, but
I don't care upsetting people.
no, I'm not talking about upsetting people. I'm talking about we're going in a minute,
All
so I
right.
want to just move on, because
Okay.
this was just an impromptu.
So, but this you have to get down to, if Everton had just said three kits, vote for the kit that you think represents Everton the most, and we'll wear it the last game of the season, and we'll get it out. And thousands of people, like you just said, would buy that kit. Thousands of people might have bought the Cambridge Blue kit, but I guarantee people would have gone, I'm not happy about that kit colour. That doesn't just because we wore it for our first game, that does not represent Everton through the ages. So find a kit and wear
It's
it.
the one that Sandro Ramirez scored against Valencia.
Anything, mate.
That was a lovely 125.
Anything,
lovely,
but go to the fan base and ask them rather than hiding away and go and speaking to a group of people who are who are not a representation of the whole fan base, or maybe they are a representation, but have a plan B, have a plan C. Stop working in a manner that doesn't do anything for anybody.
Well, I think the Friedkins will have to look at that, because they have got to try and extrapolate as much
I
money
did
as they
put
can.
an invisible Ped ramp banner above my head, then I apologise.
Yeah, so listen, there's loads to do this summer. We saw it again at the weekend. I think the manager in his press conference was sort of just like, yeah, can't wait for this to be over now, because it's done, you know. But obviously we have got one huge game at Goodison left, and I think it's up to it's going to be a weird one, that, because it'll be emotionally. No one knows exactly what it's going to be like. The fans will have to drive them players on that day, and the players should treat that like a cup final that day, to try and get the win. You know, they couldn't hand pick a better team to play for the final one. You know, could have been Man City or something where you go, oh, for fuck's sake. So Everton have got to go out and do their bit against Southampton, and then obviously off we go then into the next phase. And I think David Moyes is just basically on Saturday was saying things. The first time I've sort of seen him saying things like, this needs changing, and it almost just became a bit like, what else do you want us to do? The press conference itself was like 4.5 minutes or something. It was like, no more questions, like, get yourselves home. Because he's the same, it's just like, this is done. Do you know what I mean? Kieran says, Baz, give Ped another half an hour, we need it. No, not on Bank Holiday Monday.
I wasn't even going to do this.
He was going home, I was doing it on my own. We can keep this going throughout the week. I'd seen someone before just very quickly talk about Vaginides, the Greek right back. Says
sounds like a cream people use.
No, it doesn't.
Yeast infections.
Is it gone now? Because it's a refresh, but said he's very quick and, good dribbler. Really, highly rated. So if Everton could get someone like that in as well, and he obviously probably wouldn't cost loads. Sensible, 23, I think. Good age, 6'1". They're the kind of players we should be looking at. Tony, they haven't beaten us twice. Penalty shootouts don't count, mate. It was a draw. But they beat us when we had Sean Dyche as the manager. So my Sunday League kids team would have beat Everton with Dyche as the manager. So I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to stick my neck out and say Everton will batter Southampton on that last day.
Let's hope so.
Got to go out. And it's up to the crowd to not accept an insipid performance that day. We'll be fine. But it is, like I said at the weekend, we've said for ages, and a lot of people are saying it now, it is a huge summer. Everton have got to get real quality in this summer. They've got to spend money and get the quality in. Like last couple, Liam D says, hope Seamus gets minutes against Southampton. We need to say goodbye. He mightn't be retiring. Play a coach. But, yeah, definitely, I think he'll get on. As long as he's fit, I think he'll be on it. So.
Can I just say, Dave Vitti just sent us a picture from the tip.
Oh, I love it.
It's Bank Holiday Special.
A Bank Holiday Special.
He's at Beaconsfield tip.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Nice.
Oh, a couple of pictures.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what we do in our group. We just send each other tip pictures.
It's good, tidy tip. I like it. Sean Butler says, it was great to have the opportunity to say hello the might trip with Sam to the match yesterday. Such an experience, a special experience at Goodison. Sean, of course, was in one of your PR specials. The 1878 were immense, deeply emotional, staying in the ground as they played Elton's John after the game.
They did, yeah. It was weird because we were walking out going, didn't mean anything to us, but I totally understood that it did mean a lot to other people. And Everton's
the next one.
Yeah.
And Rob, the East Belfast Toffee, says, to be honest, lads, I don't buy the shirts anymore. I'm really disillusioned with the club. I don't know how much more I can take. I remember the days of Gray, Stephen, Reid, Sheedy. We're a million miles away. Well, we are, but that's football, Rob, isn't it? You either make your peace with it, modern day football.
Or you don't make your peace with it and you push for better.
No, you can always push for better.
You can push for better.
Saying things like, I don't know how much more I can take. Well, it's difficult because there's no sort of easy fix with that, is there? We've just got to hope that these...
We can demand more of them, though.
No, we do.
We can demand more of them. That's the point.
That's again, it's on. This season's been almost like a...
You demanded more. You demanded more from Sean Dyche and the management. That's.
I'm demanding more now. From David Moyes.
And that's all we can. That's all we can do.
Get to the summer.
I just think that there's too many people at this football club who've been far, and this is every level, by the way, inside the footballing area and outside the football area. I just think there's been far too many people at this football club who've been very, very comfortable for far too long, and those people now are getting a knock on the door and are getting told that their services are no longer required. Now, if they have had the knock on the door and their office is empty, the person who now fills that role needs to be up for the challenge, and they need to be up for moving this football team. And this is why I'm saying about, there's no point sitting here going, how can we spend 100 million? We have to spend 100 million because our team is dross.
Oh, it needs quality.
And it needs quality put into it. But let's not sit here and kid ourselves and go and be nice about the whole thing. The time to being nice about Everton Football Club is over, right? Because, as I said before, we are being asked to pay a lot more money. And if we're being asked to pay a lot more money,
then the product
and the seats, and all it is the seats a little bit bigger, that ain't going to keep people watching football for too much longer. It really isn't.
The other thing to say as well is, because we've got new owners and all that, the people who are at the football club, both in the team, in the squad, on the playing side, and the people who are not on the playing side, the ones who've got potential, the ones who are have had the wings clipped, the ones who want to do better and better for the football club. Hopefully they get the opportunity to grow now, because we can't stand still, or we've been going backwards and now we've got to go forwards. And that's on the Friedkin group, Angus Kinnear when he comes in, and it's on David Moyes and everyone are connected to the football side to drive every aspect of this football club forward and start running. John uses that analogy, others are running while we're walking. Well, we've got to start sprinting now to close this gap quality-wise all over the football club. There'll be people in there who need to be empowered, whether that's playing staff or non-playing staff, business people, whoever. We have to do it. And by doing that, we'll all get a better club.
Can I just say, Event 75 Horizon UK, a tip pick isn't maybe the same tip pick that you think it is.
No.
It's a recycling centre pick.
Yeah.
We don't send tip picks. We send the full thing, which is all a picture of the whole recycling area.
Whether it's plastics, non-recyclable, cardboard, can do it all.
Yeah.
Kev Maloney, the tower can be your kit badge and the full logo can be your coat of arms.
It can.
Or a corporate logo.
But what we were saying was Everton have to make
both lines.
Everton have to make a decision. What we were saying was, and this was from a couple of people who were in PR world, is if you're going to establish a logo, you have to establish it the right way. You have to go balls deep. You have to, if you want people to know what that tower is, you've got to push that. You've got to have it on your home kit. You've got to go, this is our corporate, this is not just our corporate, this is the logo that'll drive Everton forward, so that when people go, what's that? They don't go, I'm not really sure. They go, oh, that's Everton's badge. Why? Because Everton have pushed it down their throats. It's on all the kits. It's the main thing you see when Everton are on Sky or on FIFA or whatever. That's your badge, and everyone goes, I know that means it's Everton Football Club. But if you just stick this tower on a few bits and pieces, people are like, what's that? I don't know what that is. No one's explained that to me. Again, Everton haven't got the bollocks to go all in.
Haven't
Haven't had the
Now
bollocks.
it's about
So
now.
now it's about time to go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. New owners now will drive that, and then hopefully empower the people who wanted to, and we're getting held back.
Yeah.
That's what we want to
That's
see.
it.
We want those people who really want to drive the club to be empowered to do it, and we're hoping to empower David Moyes financially to drive this team, make it better and better. And those lads who are in the squad, who people look at and go, he's not good enough. Well, hopefully they'll step up. And with better players around them, get up to that level. You can always get better as a player, always. And lads you look at and go, wasn't sure about that, you know. Tottenham were ready to sell Gareth Bale for 3.25 million to Birmingham City because they decided he wasn't good enough. A few years later, he went for 100 million. So players can turn around. Don't write everyone off.
No.
The last couple of Premier, and then we're done. Rob would agrees with me. The 85, it should be the 85 shirt. Barry says, spot on Ped, Everton are the team that wear the blue shirt with the white collar and white shorts. Rangers are the only other club known throughout football for it. Phil says, Dwight was cack of the match on Saturday. I'm not quite sure what that is. There you go. Listen, we are 644 off 100,000, so thank you very much, but we need more. Get your mates involved. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And we will be back tomorrow, of course. We will check out the final word when it's out. Like
3 o'clock, the final word will be out.
3 o'clock, go and watch it. We're going home because it's bank holiday. And we should have gone home ages ago. Take it easy. Thanks everyone for joining us. See you later. Bye.
Bye.